Hey there, welcome back to our channel. I want to talk about a Thai comedy youth drama film called Ugly Duckling series. No spoilers, so stay tuned and enjoy. Meet May Norm, a really shy and insecure teenager who always wears a box on her head. She has this strange problem where she truly hates her own face and thinks she's the ugliest person ever. Because of this, she never looks in the mirror and hasn't left her house for over 3 years. May Norm lives with her brother Plawan and her dad, Mr. Bon, who are always worried about her. One day, Plawan comes home with a bruised elbow and confesses to shoplifting. To distract his dad, he talks about May Norm and makes her seem like a total psycho because of her condition. May Norm often has panic attacks and trouble breathing when she's anxious. Plawan's mean words make things worse, but Mr. Bon knows how to help her calm down. May Norm then writes in her blog about how she used to be confident but turned into an ugly duckling. For the first 13 years of her life, May Norm was a normal kid with friends and confidence. In middle school, she told a really cute boy that she liked him, but he rejected her in a mean way. After that, her classmates started calling her ugly, and it hurt her so much that she stopped going to school. Even though Mr. Bond tried to help, she chose to be homeschooled instead. May Nam didn't look in mirrors or go outside for a whole year. A stranger suggested she cover her face with a paper bag, and it made her feel more confident. She kept covering her face, switching from a bag to a box. She rarely shows her face to her family because she likes to stay hidden. She finds comfort online where she can connect with others without showing her face. The next day, Mr. Bond goes to the doctor about May Nam. He thinks she's sick, but the doctor explains she has a condition called hikikomori. It's when people, usually young, isolate themselves and refuse to talk to anyone. May Nam's case isn't severe because she still talks to her family. The doctor advises Mr. Bond to help May Nam socialize before she cuts off her family too. During dinner, May Nam insists on using a straw and wearing a box on her head. Mr. Bond decides she should go to school without the box. May Nam resists at first, thinking it's a joke, but Mr. Bond is serious and sticks to his decision. Plawan tries to cheer May Nam up by giving her a new box and helping her decorate it. May Nam is still worried about being teased at school and prefers that to being called ugly. Plawan's support doesn't completely make her feel better. The next day, Mr. Bond gives the brother and sister a ride to school. May Nam, who is having a hard time carrying a box, starts breathing fast. To help her calm down, Mr. Bond plays some soothing music and encourages her to go inside. She says sorry and thank you, then heads to school. Mr. Bond becomes worried and cries because he cares about her a lot. At school, May Nam gets a lot of attention because of the box she's carrying. People talk about her and point at her, making her feel scared and remembering bad experiences from before. She starts feeling dizzy, but a guy with a helmet comes to her rescue, making her feel a little better. The guy, Minton, introduces himself, but May Nam gets nervous and runs away. While running, she accidentally bumps into the popular guy at school, Zero. He and his friends ask her to take off the box because they're curious about how she looks. When she says no, they try to force it off, but Minton stops them. He takes off his helmet, and Zero and Minton get mad at each other. They decide to solve the problem outside of school. Minton takes May Nam's hand and leads her away. In the next part, she's standing nervously in front of the class. The teacher, who knows about her situation, asks for privacy, but some mean teenagers start bullying her and try to make her show her face. Minton, who is also in the class, gets angry at his classmates' behavior. May Nam quietly takes a seat and keeps her head down. During lunch, she looks for her brother in the cafeteria but can't find him. Despite other students staring and talking about her, 2 guys force her to take off the box. Instead of helping, other people laugh at the bullying. May Nam can't eat and leaves the cafeteria crying. In the playground, Minton shows up with a helmet on. At first, May Nam thinks he's making fun of her, but he explains that he just likes the way he looks with it. They become friends, and Minton shares his sandwich with her, making her feel better. They have a good time joking and laughing. However, Maynam reveals she won't be at school the next day. Minton tells Maynam to come to school for him, even if only for a little while. After school, Minton faces the bully, Zero, as promised. They exchange words, and Minton challenges Zero to a one-on-one fight. The fight starts, Minton lands the first punch, but Zero hits back hard. Maynam is on her way home when she sees them wrestling. The police arrive, and Zero pulls her away. In a quiet spot, he takes off the box from her head, revealing her face. Maynam thinks he's staring because she's ugly, and her past traumas overwhelm her, causing her to pass out. She wakes up in the hospital without her box, panics, and is given a face mask. Her dad feels guilty for making her go to school and lets her stay home. Surprisingly, Maynam decides to go back to school to get revenge on Zero for making her take off the box. The next day, Zero wonders why Maynam hides her face. She arrives, slaps him for his previous actions, and a fight breaks out. News spreads about the good-looking guys fighting over the girl with the box on her head. Maynam gets mad at the guys for making her life complicated. During a fight between Zero and Minton, Maynam steps in and scolds them. When Minton suggests that Zero likes her, Zero denies it and calls Maynam ugly. This triggers Maynam's trauma, and she faints. Minton helps her, making Zero jealous. The next day, Maynam feels insecure and stays away from everyone. Mr. Bon and Pluon talk about helping her, but when Zero tries to apologize, Pluon won't let him in, accusing him of making Maynam more depressed. The next morning, Minton tries to cheer her up, but she won't let him in her room. After repeated requests, she wears a face mask and meets him. To her surprise, he made a duck box for her face, and Maynam couldn't help but laugh. Minton also made a duck helmet for himself, and with a friend named Plawan, they started a band called Daft Punk. But mostly, they just enjoy eating together. Minton promises to take care of Maynam and convinces her to go back to school. He drives her to school the next morning. When Maynam is alone, Zero approaches to apologize, but Plawan interrupts and sends him away. In class, a girl named Ozone asks Maynam about a rumor of her dating Zero, but Maynam denies any connection. She rejects similar requests during lunch. Maynam learns that Zero is attacking her brother, and she finds his friends beating him. Zero claims Plawan started the fight, but Maynam confronts him for being a bully who steals from and intimidates weaker students. Zero offers to stop using violence if she reveals her face. Reluctantly, Maynam removes her box, surprising everyone. Later, she hugs Minton, who is surprised to see her but focuses on comforting her. Later at home, Plawan shows Maynam all the nice comments people wrote about her picture. Even though the comments are good, Maynam still doesn't feel pretty. Then when she goes into her room, she sees the window is open. Suddenly, Zero appears and asks her to keep quiet. He says sorry for calling her ugly and admits that she's the most beautiful girl he's ever seen. After he leaves, Maynam can't stop thinking about his words. She asks her online friend to check out her picture on the school's page. The friend says she looks really cute, and finally, Maynam believes she might be beautiful. For the first time in more than 3 years, she takes out a mirror and sees that she is truly beautiful. It's hard for her to believe what she sees. The next day, Maynam goes to school without the box. All the students stare at her and talk about her, but this time, they're not making fun of her. Instead, they're admiring how pretty she is. Even though she's nervous, Maynam is ready to start a new chapter in her life with confidence she never had before. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay tuned for more thought-provoking content. Until next time, keep watching amazing movies.